Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Modern Market, where every day we discuss all things to do with the modern market. That is the crypto market, the NFT market, and how to make some or a lot of money on the internet. Load up discussion today. We have Bitcoin dipping below 108,000 before a little bounce back above 109, whilst gold is ripping higher, approaching 3.5K all-time highs soon. It looks like Trump's DeFi project, WLFI, Trump's DeFi project, WLFI, will start trading today on Binance at 1 o'clock UTC. It's been volatile on Hyperliquid pre-market at 32 bill. I think a little bit less now. Brett is going to walk us through what is going on there a little bit later today. Some interesting data points we've got. And finally, over the weekend, a US appeals court ruled on Friday that most of Trump's tariffs are illegal, allowing them to remain in place until October the 14th. I will dig in a little bit there into what that means and some of the technicalities of things which we need to be aware of. There's obviously been this bigger movement of kind of centralizing power from the Trump administration, whether that's on the tariff side or on the Fed side at the moment. So we'll discuss that in a little bit as well. I think it's very relevant for our markets. We've also got the latest on price action on crypto and NFTs as usual, plus a general discussion on where we think attention is flowing. So stay tuned for that. I've got my guy, Bread Guy, in the co-host seat with me today. We're ready to get into it, but just a reminder, friends, before we do nothing, that we say here's financial advice, because the market is very risky and sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. We don't know for sure. So please proceed with caution and exercise your own judgment. With that out of the way, Brett, it's Monday. It is a new month. It is now the 1st of September. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Sup, dog? Sup? Actually, so I thought this morning I would wake up to Legendary on the show. I see that's not the case. I thought he'd be back.
Just have a quick play with your volume, Brett. I can hear you, but you're coming a little bit low for me.
I wonder if it means I'm not even coming in through the mic that I want to come in through. It says it is. I'll play with it, or maybe I'll just speak louder. Can people in the crowd hear me?
Yeah, if someone can give us a thumbs up if you think Brett is speaking normal volume, or a thumbs down if you think he's not coming through at the normal volume. Okay, we've got a thumbs up from Funky, at least, so maybe you're fine. Maybe I'll turn you up on my side. See if that works. How
Done.
about that?
Legendary would have if he was here.
He would have. I think he would have.
That's what I thought maybe we'd see him. I know I saw some pictures over the weekend of his trip. I just didn't know if it was like finishing up or not. Other than that, like it's been a normal weekend. I'm mad I didn't position a little more over the weekend. I know things are red right now, but like macro picture is the same. Like the stuff's gonna go up. So like I think I've mentally accepted and in my heart accepted that I just want to reposition the majority of my shit into like I want to do some house cleaning. I still have NFTs from fucking 2021, 2022.
But you say this all the time.
I know, but like you guys are part of my my mental process. It's like I got to tell you guys, then you guys hold my feet to the fire, and so like, but like this is even more. This is like portfolio evaluation that you do like every 3 to 6 months, right? Where like you look at stuff, you see your percentages, and you're like what the fuck am I doing? Like why? Like this is okay. Here's something I went through my head, right? I have a bunch of NFTs still because I would like just hold and wait. Like the guys, they'll pay off eventually. They'll pay off eventually. And I'm sitting here and I'm going like, I'm hoping for like a 3 to 5x or something out of this thing. And it's like, the thesis is that like, yeah, maybe it'll be like a pudgy. Like it'll eventually just do its thing. And then I'm like, you know what? Like I have other things like right now, I wish I had more capital to just allocate to. It's like, I want more because I can put up a thesis right now and say this thing's going to do well in my opinion. Right. And but then I'm like going through the turmoil. Like I'm a whale in some of these chats and I'm like, I got to tell these guys like pulling the plug, bros. And like, that scares me a little bit. I'm like, okay, so I see a lot of this stuff. Do I just market, sell, and just get out? Like, so now like I got to go through that process. But like, I think I've mentally accepted that like that is the process I have to do over the next, whatever.
Okay. So I've got a lot of points to make here. Some very interesting
Help me.
revelations, I think. So I've got some points for you. But just quick shout, thank you to Scorp, Crab, Napalm, Jedi, Riverine in the comments, Nort as well, just letting us know all the audio is all good. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, homies.
And okay, so some interesting revelations here. Dealing with the last thing you said first. That social, this is why on some level, there's a few expensive, more when you talk about on the profile picture side, some of the more expensive. There's one in particular that I haven't made a big deal that I have at the moment. It's like becoming more expensive. People know that I have it. I think 'cause I've mentioned it on the show. But like, there's real value sometimes. I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, the art of trading, or maybe even the art of investing, is the ability to not have to say anything, to not have to work for your bag, to not have to like be involved in a chat, to not, be part of the social pressure that pressurizes everyone else. To the art of the trade, really, the purest form is you buy low in silence and you sell in high, and you sell high in silence, right? Everyone else, like the wave,
you're that 1K follower Twitter account that's just like the dude. The dude who like fucked up what was the market that just got hit last week? He's got like $500 million. He's on a couple of podcasts. What was the pre-market that just
white whale?
No, the XPL. Oh, it was the plasma whale dude. He's just like, like the guys on StattyLeds talked about him, and then he wrote to them and he just like explained his position. He's like, bro, I just got a lot of money because I was in early on Bitcoin, and like I just ape whenever I feel like I need to ape, and like no one knows him, no one understood him, and he's just like a dumb dude with money because he just keeps hitting these rotations.
I like it, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like, there's something about this social, because our space, particularly on crypto Twitter, is so tied to like the identities we create on Twitter, and then people know like, oh, this person's holding this, and therefore it must be good, and then we create like a social tie to some of these assets. And I don't know, I think it's definitely something that's been on my mind recently, where it's like, even if I hold some of the more social, and when I say social, I mean primarily like NFTs, or even like NFT communities that have tokens or whatever, try to make less of a big deal about it, because in the end, like, some of these things you're going to have to let go at the right price, because that's part of the process of it. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely something I've been thinking about, and but maybe framing it even more positively, which is like, okay, fine, there's this social pressure on the community side, but also like the pureness of the trade. This is why, the pureness of the trade, like buy low, sell high, and that's it. I don't know. Do you have any further thoughts?
You didn't help me. You didn't help me at all. Like you talked about like what I should have never put myself in this position is what you just told me.
Yes. yeah. I think that's the learning from.
So yes, I agree. That's the goal going forward. But I got these emotional bags from 4 years ago. I've been dinners with these guys. I've been doing like,
oh, you had dinner as well,
bro. I gotta go.
That's a $20,000 dinner for you.
No,
at least 30, 40. Let's see.
I don't want to calculate that, because what I did was I hit the perfect rotation from my, I lived on an alt chain. I hit the perfect rotation from my alt chain to Solana at the lows. So like, if I had just my Solana just from that trade and not taking it one step further into NFTs, I'd be doing this from the beach. Like, bro, I nailed it. But I sunk my bags a little too deep. That's why I talked about this time. I was like, I wanted to make sure I'm one click away from the door. Like, whenever I want to make that exit, I want to be one click away. I don't want to have to do like, because right now I have a bunch of NFTs and I don't know what the market for the NFTs, for the rarities, for the whatever. I have to literally I had to go find a guy and be like, bro, what's market for the things that I have? Which one of these things can I sell for a premium? Which one of these, like, I don't know the market. I don't want to learn the market. I don't, like, it sucks. I got too many of these goddamn NFTs.
I think that happens when you because we invest in different things quite a lot as the space moves on, and like you've kind of moved on from that previous, you've moved on from that portfolio in a way. It's like, sure, you like it. There's certain aspects that you like, but like your brain and personality and whoever, like you've moved on into a different realm. So much stuff has happened since you probably bought them, right? You probably weren't even at Mega ETH. You weren't doing all this stuff. Like,
bro,
the whole
these are 4-year-old bags. Like these things, I am the king of just like tuck it away and let it figure itself out. Usually it goes to zero. Sometimes you got some hope. I have some things with hope in them. And it's like, do I nuke the hope and just like start anew? Like, is that what it is? Like,
it's a good question. And then this, I guess, so just one quick point on this. River Ryan, who's actually an awesome trader, in the comments saying, I won a good vibes club and then got added to a group on Twitter and told I should join the Discord. Great and all, but I had 5 before and sold them all. Not really interested in joining more groups.
Yeah,
but
I can't contribute to it. I can't contribute to these things. Like I'm in them, sure. Like, but I can't.
Just taking the conversation in one other direction though, before we hit the main stuff, which I think is helpful because it's the second part where we said every now and again, 3 to 6 month cycle, you need to do like this spring clean, whether it's the spring or not. You've got to go through that process. Just for people listening in, maybe it'd be interesting for you to share, like, you mentioned, okay, some NFTs, for example, but what's on the way out for you as you get into that process now? What's on the way in? And then maybe I'll give some thoughts as well.
Like you mean tell you, I can't tell people what I'm selling. Like that, that'll start. I mean,
no, broadly it was NFTs, right?
It's broadly, yeah.
Like,
NFTs
is there
out.
a sector that you're out of?
Okay. I'll do that. Like I don't want to like fud the project out the door because I still believe in them. It's just like not my thing. And I actually like that's what's keeping me from holding it because I'm like, bro, these guys got a chance. Like I still believe in it. Like they're still building actual shit. They're fucking around. Anyways, so NFTs out the door. Spring cleaning of just like all the low, like the shitcoin bags. Like I'm just gonna get rid of them. And then I'm just gonna continue to get into this the revenue meta. I think that the market still hasn't caught up to it. It's still assigning premia to a bunch of shit that is just like there just because it was always there. And I think the longer that holds up, or the longer that it like people have to sit there and compare the two things, the more and more people are gonna go, I want the thing that's generating money. Sorry. Because like there's the regulatory landscape has shifted enough over the last year that like people are getting a little more brazen with how hype and pump. Yeah, it's literally those two. So that is what I will be buying. I think pump is a more egregious of a undervalued thing right now. They've clearly shown alignment to their token, right? They've bought over 100% of their revenues the last few weeks, months into the token to show like they're actually gonna do it. It's not consistent and it's not like as durable. People are skeptical of it, but I still think their war chest and their ability, like their desire to want to continue to iterate as an app, like bro, like they have now survived several attacks from other projects to try to like take their market share, and they keep winning. And I think they at this point are pretty much just like locked in. They're going to be it for a while. So one's that, and the other one's hype. And like hype is just clearly they're generating. You guys have heard me on the show last 6 months. I think infrastructure that is pure infrastructure is overvalued, right? We're assigning L1 premiums, we're assigning chain premiums to a lot of this shit. IP is generating $25 a week, and now it just got pumped to like $6 gajillion, right? Because they just did a whole bunch of buybacks, which obviously cannot be sustained because all those fees are just coming from themselves and their raises and whatever. You need to generate money to be able to put money back into the token, which makes it equity-like. And I think whenever the market wakes up to like, oh, we actually have some actual equity-like tokens out there, people that are not afraid to do this, the stuff that people have been dreaming that like Uniswap would do for the last fucking 6 years, like it's being done by a few teams. I think people are just going to continue to opt for it. So I want to continue to position into those types of tokens. Okay.
I like that thinking. It's not dissimilar from at least part of the focus of a tweet that I put out yesterday, which I'll share as well. I've also been sharing on the show that like DCing out of like the riskier stuff plus NFTs on like a multi-month time frame is what I'm intending to do. It's what I've been doing. I told you I sold a Mask of Lucy not long ago. Sure, they went higher still. That's okay. I've got some X copy editions I need to move. They are listed. I think it's a good price for them right now, right? Like it's a good price. Could they go higher? Sure. But it's a good price. So I'm listed some NFTs, and I'll just share a few of the other things while I'm doing that. Brett, did you have a question, thought you want us to come in on?
No, I'll give you a total aside and say I got my Pixel last week, and the MFers shipped me my phone and haven't shipped me my case. They're supposed to send it on Saturday, and then they're supposed to send it on Sunday. They're supposed to send it today. I can't believe they can do that. I feel like they're trying to make me break my brand new phone so that I have to buy a new one or something.
Absolutely
And with the
diabolical.
insurance, yeah,
Absolutely diabolical.
bought it from Google. I bought both from Google. My case is coming like a week later. Doesn't make any sense.
Should be illegal. Absolutely illegal. Okay.
Tell me about this. Tell me about this tweet.
Yes. So we've got here are the things I'm kind of thinking about at the moment. It's not pure. So in terms of the spring cleaning of portfolios, like, yeah, I think out with things that are not making money and in with things which are. And remember, I've been saying since the start of August, the things that are running most right now will not have a free pass.
Not just making money and directing it to the token.
Correct.
Very clear distinction for me, because Uniswap makes a shit ton of money. They drive 0% of that to the token, right? There's a huge swath of these revenue generating things from the old era that do not do anything with it. They take it into their equity. They take it into their foundation. They don't do shit with it because they use this regulatory like veil as like, oh, look, sorry guys, we're not sure. Like it's, it's been bad. Our lawyers say no. And then you have a couple of these protocols that are just saying, fuck it. Like, yeah, it's going to it, bro. It's equity. It basically is equity without saying it, right? I don't think the market's like truly delineated between the two.
For sure. So we like those constructions where you're getting basically equity in things, and that's Hyperliquid and Pump. So in this tweet that I put out,
those are big ones.
Yeah, I just wrote everything Hyperliquid. So this is more about not just the asset portfolio, but just like general attention, where to pay attention. Everything Hyperliquid for me is still good risk reward. Like thinking about units coming out, thinking about kinetic by staking your hype. Like if you hold hype and you don't have K hype, it's the equivalent of not being exposed to Lido, where the ETH staking is the equivalent of not bothering with Jito, which was the staking thing for Solana, which made people a ton of money. Like you got to have kinetic. You got to have K hype instead of hype.
You got to move this up to the EVM side to do that, right? Because like I have a lot of hype. All of it's on the exchange. It's on core.
Yes,
right?
you got to go off it, and you got to at least have some in K hype. You got to do it. If you want the money, you got to do it. But sometimes you don't want the money, so you might not do it.
Yeah. There's risk. There's risk associated to it. Like,
so just for people who might be a little bit newer, so yeah, look, nothing's perfect, right? This is a staking protocol. It's you're not holding pure hype anymore. If you do your research on Lido and Jupiter, sorry, not Jupiter, Jito, it was a very, very profitable airdrop for the people who staked their Solana with Jito. So it's like, look, you don't know 100% if history repeats itself.
Can we track the adoption there? What's the
crazy? Really, really good.
Right? Okay,
it's huge. I don't know the number, but if you want to bring it up, kinetic adoption has been very, very good. 1.6
bill TVL.
Not at all bad. I would say very good. So
catching up the plasma.
Indeed. Project X, I like a lot on the DeFi side on HyperEVM as well. Felix as the lending protocol on Hyperliquid, I like, and Liminal. Although I feel like there's something wrong with Liminal, like the APRs are not paying the way that they're advertised. I kind of want to chat to the team to see what's going on there, if I'm doing something wrong. Question mark there. I like the product though. Still, Yeet spins and content I think are undervalued. Moonbird's content is undervalued. You got an opportunity. Maybe you like that, bread. You can get exposure to an NFT token without actually having to own the NFT. I think that might be a reasonable.
What are they paying people out? Like, what do you mean by content here?
They've got a Kaito leaderboard, and you know what that means. You know, there's going to be a token, and so it's going to get an allocation, right? So, for people with less capital, if you don't want to pay $13,000 for a Moonbird, but you like the ecosystem, I don't know, there's could be something to do there. Polkadot Bitcoin yield on hydration, I still think is good. Football.fun, I think, they're going to do American football, guys. Even if you hate normal football, Football.fun are going to have normal American football, not normal football. So I think that app is still going to do well, even though a lot of the TVL has subsided after the initial kind of crazy run up. And then it's September, and so I wrote Megeth is getting closer. So watching the apps, for those apps to become louder, thinking bad buns start to rise again. I think they went as low as 0.22 ETH, came back to 0.3. I sold some as ETH rose because ETH rose so significantly. Yeah, so those are the things that are on my radar as I get into the next few months. Brett, any final reflections before we hit the roundup?
No, just that I have I moved a small portion of my, like, when I thought I had time, I moved a small portion of my stack to the EVM side of Hype, and like I sat it there. I actually think it was like it's since doubled in value, which is nice since I've done that. So I think I'm just gonna I'll K hype that one up. It's been sitting there for probably 3 months now, or whenever we first made the first dive into the Hype EVM, so that'd been like $25, $26, something like that. Our first big pivot. Yeah, so I think I'll take that. I'll make that into K hype just so like I take that first little dip, get a little bit of farming going, and then when I have time, I'll reevaluate and see how much of my stack I want to put up. What would you say is your proportion? Are you 100% on EVM?
No, but I don't know what my proportion is.
It'll be your Hype allocated portfolio. What's the percentage on EVM?
I would say at least 60 to 70.
Okay,
or 80.
Good portion.
Yeah, like a lot of it's gone off core because I'm not doing anything with it on core. So I think a lot of it's
safer. It's safer. Okay.
Well, just sitting on it, even if it's just sitting on EVM, it's no different to being in core. I don't think. I don't know. You know that stuff better than me. I feel pretty safe on the EVM. Obviously, when you go into different applications, then that's when you take
bro, I remember my Liminal is the only place that I click some buttons off of on EVM, and that thing was scary as shit. I'm gonna be honest. Like that was you're clicking blind sign transactions. You don't know like how it's actually like.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay,
dude. Yeah, dude, just picks up a bunch of hex, and you're just like, okay, sign this fucking thing, bro. That's a one-way street to Zero Town, right?
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough. You know,
you don't know what permissions you're giving to this thing. You don't know what where anything's going. Like I couldn't even validate if my shit was actually working. That said, followed my DeFi Llama safe links. Went to Kinetic. I'm at Kinetic now. .xyz. Good readable signature, and now I have some K hype. So that was quick and easy.
There you go. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a very fair comment. People should obviously write that stuff better so that people know what they're doing. Right. Quick shout to some of the comments going on. We've got Scorp talking about Ethos. Yeah, I actually like Ethos. I think Ethos is doing
great. Yeah,
nice. Is getting some nice adoption, getting some nice utility, getting integrated into some people's distribution.
Yeah, strategies. I think we'll probably leverage it for Mega ETH for a few things.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had a message with or a conversation with my man Serpent.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's doing a decent job. I know there's like some bots and stuff. Yeah, there's bots everywhere.
Of course.
But
it's got to be layered. There's no one thing in this ecosystem that's perfect by itself. You got to layer it with other stuff to like create a good little cross section that you want, right? Cerebro did that a little bit with their drop. Yeah, you just gotta be smart with it.
Indeed. Coach asked, what's Bitcoin yield on hydration? You can check, Coach, in our Telegram chat in the best protocol section. You can click on, actually, no, hydration is not there. Legendary is back from holiday. Tag Legendary and ask him to put it in so that it's easily clickable for us to chat. It's still double digit though. So it's double digit.
You know what sucks? I can't, guess what? If you search hydration, you're not gonna get a lot of good hits for hydration and protocol. I'm trying to Google it. I was like, that's not gonna help.
Never go via Google. Always go via Twitter. I never Google anything.
Well, I'm not, you're just looking at yields. We're not looking at,
we're
not looking at signing anything.
That is true. And sorry, Justefano got a small wallet drained this morning. That is, sorry to hear that, man. Gotta stay safe. Check
anything
the links
worth reporting back to the group
at all times. So, cheers, River Ryan. 11% on Bitcoin on hydration. Right, let's get into the main stuff, guys. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got the Bitcoin Fi, the World Liberty Fi discussion to have. We've got some other points about gold hitting all-time high and some of the more political stuff that I think is super relevant as well. So Let's get into it, starting with the main price action as always. With the majors, we've got Bitcoin flat around 108.5K. ETH is at 4.4K. XRP is down 1% to $2.80. BNB still super high, 854. Solana's down 2%, just ticked under 200. And Hyperliquid is flat around almost $45. Sui is down 1% to $3.30. Brad?
Yeah, I heard. So BNB obviously is doing great. There was a discussion on a podcast. People were asking like, why? These are researchers. Like, why is BNB not doing, or what did they miss that like Hyperliquid is doing well? And it surprised me that question even came up, because like you have BNB, you have Binance, the exchange. Binance exchange is obviously clearly doing great. What's the element there? So like, I'm just going to touch on it because like it surprises me that that's even a question, especially for people who are deemed knowledgeable in the space, right? Like the clear differentiator there is that the like Binance, the chain, Binance Smart Chain is a fully fledged general purpose L1, does all its stuff. Binance, the SEX, is a fully fledged SEX that does like has all this stuff. It's got perps. It's most successful in the world objectively. Like but they have no interaction with each other, right? Like nothing you do on Binance, the centralized exchange, has any kind of ties to anything that takes place on Binance Smart Chain. It's just the branding that overlaps, and you would hope that you get some flow or like deposits or whatever, like can go back and forth. Okay, there's actual like Hyperliquid, the perps application, like the exchange that they're trying to compete with Binance, and then Hyper EVM are actually like tied together, right? They're actually, both of them are on chain. Whether or not that chain is like up to snuff for you as a decentralized platform or not is like, that's up to you. But the fact is that you can write like smart contracts on Hyper EVM that will eventually be able to pull liquidity or have awareness of your positions on Hypercore, the actual like competitor to Binance, right? So it's like they are composable in a way that Binance's setup isn't. So same thing with Coinbase and Base, same thing with Mantle and what's Mantle's BitGet or whatever. Like there's, or OKX, whatever it is. Like there's an exchange tied to the back end of that. Same thing with all those. Those are all separate entities, whereas Hyperliquid and Hypercore, Hyper EVM are actually composable in some ways. So just like FYI to the gang.
That's very helpful. Good additional explanation. And I think Hyperliquid are building out more ways to kind of tap into the liquidity on Core.
Yeah, Core Riders coming. Yeah, all that
stuff. On EVM. So definitely one to watch in that respect. Getting into the meme coin side of things, we have, I'm just going to share my screen again for people watching in live on X, live on YouTube as well. We've got Doge flat at 21 cents, Pepe down 1% to just down a couple of percent. Trump's up 5%, maybe to do on like World Liberty Fi Day.
Yeah.
So why not buy a little bit of President Trump's official coin? Pengu's down 3% as well. SPX is up a couple of percent, but I would say in general here, most things are down single digits. Fartcoin is now down to 74 cents. WIF is down to 78. Mog's down 5%. Rect is down another.
These things just never die. Like WIF is dead, right? WIF's dead.
780 mil.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I guess, yeah, there's a
like
certain
what's left. Like the main KOL is capitulated. It's not getting this thing on the sphere. Like I haven't seen the meme. Like it's got a hat. Like that was the funny thing. It's no longer funny because the price is down. And who's gonna buy into an old meme like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's. I think it's gone. I think it's. Well, I don't know. Maybe people just like it now at this point.
It's a vestige of the past. Just like 90% of these chains that launch and then build up they build a war chest from 2017 ICO, and then just because they had so much money and they didn't like fully eat it back into the ecosystem and lose it, they're just gonna be around forever. Like it's just gonna be a zombie foundation with a shit ton of money, probably like buying and trading high end shit like main coins, Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever, and they'll never go away.
Indeed. Right, let's get to the headlines.
Did you see Bonk purchase a partner of the company on the stock exchange? NASDAQ?
Yeah. So they're just doing like a treasury company thing, right?
Basically. Yeah, they bought a company. Now I've read something in the guy inside of the guy's head's bonk. Like they traded a shit ton of bonk at the height of their launchpad stuff, and they got a equity stake in bonk fun. So like when bonk fun was doing great, which don't want to be it's conspiratorial here, but like pretty crazy that these guys, like their platform was going absolutely fucking bananas for like 3 weeks, and in that 3-week period they sold a 10% stake to get like a piece of this NASDAQ company that then allows them to do this next thing. I'm not saying, but like it's kind of and then it's all gone. So like the effort's there, they got their money for it, like they don't care that it's valuable. I mean, obviously they probably want it to be valuable, but like kind of they move very aggressively on that, I'll say.
Interesting. Yeah, I've got to keep an eye on this stuff. In the news in just a second as well, we'll talk about someone else raising and being a part of a DAT, and it's just definitely something to keep an eye on entirely. Right, let's get through the rest of the roundup, because when we want to touch on all of the headlines for today, we've got some important conversation to have. So let's whip through these. We've got for discussion, Bitcoin dipping below 108, but gold is pushing to 3.5K and push towards all-time highs. We'll touch on that in a moment. Trump's DeFi project, well, LibertyFi, will start trading today on Binance at 1 p.m. UTC. It's been volatile on the pre-market, so Brett's going to walk us through some various aspects and data points that we're going to look at in a moment. US Appeals Court ruled on Friday that most of Trump's tariffs are illegal, allowing them to remain in place until October the 14th, at which point the Trump admin need to file an appeal with the Supreme Court. So I'll just take us through that news. I know it was on Friday, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it. I think it's relevant. Getting into the rest of the roundup, you've got World Liberty Fi's stablecoin USD1 going live on Solana today. You had the Ethereum Community Foundation creating BETH, BETH, a new token which represents burned ETH on chain.
That's so dumb. What they do? Do you like literally all they do is they send your ETH to this address and we'll give you a token that's equivalent to that, and they burn it on the back end. So like they burn the ETH and they give you a token that's not integrated everywhere. So you're just like stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah, not who knows. Story Protocol announces
yourself. It's so stupid. It's like that's all you're doing. It's like I guess that it's like ceremonial or whatever. You
very ceremonial. That's the thing. Yeah,
it's so dumb.
Story Protocol announces almost $3 million of buyback of the IP token as part of its $82 million buyback program. IP pushed past $8 at one point, over an $8 billion FDV. You just can't short this chart, even if it's not making any money. It's like I don't know what you're supposed to do, guys.
Did you see him go on Thread Guy in like the game that he was playing?
No, I didn't.
Not the game that he was playing. Like he's a a smart guy. I saw a thread from Pix who kind of broke down who he was. So he's accomplished, right? He's a smart guy. He's been around for a long time. The guy who took over Story Protocol, but he went on Thread Guy to like explain the whole like. Everyone got mad at Jason Zhao, who's the previous guy who sold out. He's like, no, he's like, vesting doesn't give, like, vesting is a full year and 4 years. It's normal vesting. So I don't know where that story came from, but that, the fact that that happened 6 months and a day after is wrong, whatever. And then he said, he's trying to say like, we're subsidizing everything. He's like, it's intentionally cheap. We set our gas extremely low in an effort to, allow for IP to do whatever. So, and then they did like an $82 million buyback or some shit. So, yeah, but he tried to play the game of just like, yeah, we're going for volume. We're going for whatever. Like you can't FUD the dollars because we made the dollars even cheaper than you would have expected because we're playing the long game, which maybe they are, but the lower you go in prices, the higher the larger the spam incentive is. Like there's an equilibrium that you have to hit. Once you're too cheap, then it cost me like $5 to attack the chain. Because like if you're not a high capacity chain and you're also cheap, then like I can overload you and like basically effectively DDoS your chain, shut you down. Right? I could fill your blocks with nothing for $100 to like blank your chain for a year. Right? So.
Okay. Yeah. Good additional context. As I said, the fees being earned, though, struggle to see how it justifies that price at 8 billion FDV. But there we go. There'll be more
prices forward looking, right? So like that, like forward. Yeah, like that, like those dollars, sure, but like prices are always forward looking, right? So it's like you're putting in a lot of growth there.
Sure. Elon Musk's lawyer Elon Musk's lawyer will chair the Dogecoin treasury, aiming to raise $200 million. That's the other one I wanted to mention. That's like, guys, okay, just definitely check your positions at the moment. There's like some more stupidity taking place in the markets. Web3 brand Quirky's takeover announced by long-term investor and community member Pappy. I actually interviewed him a long time ago, back in the day when I was doing some shows for the Chimpers crew. Good guy.
I have no idea what that is, but I like the branding. It's kind of fun.
It's cool. Infinex announces Hyperliquid powered perps for Patreon NFT holders. So that is going to get rolled out, I suspect, for the rest of Infinex users. And finally, OpenSea adds functionality for Hyperliquid. So that is the Web3 roundup. We've only got 20 minutes left of the show today because we've been discussing things in different directions. So let's crack straight into it today. Let's crack straight into it, talking a little bit on Bitcoin and gold. So I think I'm going to go straight into, remember, we're going to talk WLFI as well. We're going to talk Trump's tariffs. Let's see how we get on here. First thing I wanted to bring up was just the gold price, because you can see gold here just like really, really making a move. It's up a couple of percent last week, pushing towards 3.5K. Gold is up 20% in 6 months. It was as low as, gosh, when you see that, it just makes you realize what kind of trade we've been in the last 6 months or so. Although maybe some other assets have done similar. 2.9K up to 3.5, which for gold historically, that's just a huge move, right? Year to date, up 30%. So really ready to push through, I guess, on the back of, it's just the debasement of currency in general, right? I think that's the general thesis for this type of trade at the moment. On the Bitcoin side, though, there's this really awesome post, as we said, MLM is following this really closely, of all of this Bitcoin that's getting sold on Hyperliquid. So realistically, I don't think Bitcoin can keep, like, no one wants to buy Bitcoin because even though this is just one person, it's such a huge amount that you kind of want this guy to finish selling if you want to buy Bitcoin. Like, everyone knows that this person is a seller now. So a very prominent trader and power crypto user, wrong user, said, this relentless on-chain Bitcoin seller is extremely interesting. This is an extremely interesting market dynamic. When he was already about $1 billion into the rotation, I shared to a friend how the market probably couldn't strongly bottom until the guy was done. And apparently he's still not. The on-chain transparency leads to apathy from other participants who simply choose the obvious behavior of waiting. I think that's pretty fair. Like, I mean, I bought a little bit at one point. I think it was about 112. And then it's like, well, this guy just keeps selling all of his Bitcoin, just slamming sell on all of it. Shall I just wait till he's finished in case I want to buy more? So just to give you an update, the Bitcoin whale has now sold 7,000 Bitcoin in the past 46 hours, and used and bought 171,000 ETH with it. So that's about $770 million of ETH. He still has 3,000 Bitcoin left in the address, which, you know, this is the account's assumption that it will likely be fully rotated into ETH. And there's another combined 46.8 Bitcoin. No, hang on. 46,816 Bitcoin, which is $5 billion. I don't think it put the full stop in the wrong place there. So of this, another $1.57 billion worth might get rotated based on previous activity. Though it's unclear what will happen with the remaining 3.5 billion. At this point, it looks like he's rotating everything because that's just what they're doing on chain all the time. And just to give you an update of this transaction behavior or summary, he sold 34,000 Bitcoin, which is $3.7 billion, and bought, basically turned it all into ETH, 813,000 ETH, which is 3.66 billion, based on prices of around 108,000 per Bitcoin and 4,500 ETH over the past 11 days. So it just doesn't seem that this person is finished. And there's another tweet here. At the moment of writing, he deposited another 1,000 Bitcoin to Hyperliquid. Like, Brad, what information do we have here? Like, what is this wallet? What on earth is going on? Do you have a view here of, like, either what's going on? No, there's two things happening: relentless selling from one specific account and the rotation into ETH. So what's your view?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, after hearing the conversation, the XPL whale, the guy who has a gajillion dollars, who is just relentlessly buying into XPL and liquidating people without understanding the actual mechanics of perps. It was the first time using perps. He's just like, I don't know, man. I didn't realize it would do that. I thought I was buying spot. Like you just realize our space is so nascent that like you still have these giga whales that just like went all in 2013, and like now they're having to reckon with that and like actually play with their money, because like you like it's all self-custodial, right? Whenever they bought, like you bought it and you put it in your back pocket. So like these people now have to deal with immense wealth and are doing it on chain. So like I typically like to err on the side of like it's not as complicated, or there's no 4D chess going on. It's literally just a dude with bags, and he probably got those bags either from being a very good trader, or he's just someone who bought and forgot for a long ass time. And like now we're seeing the repercussions of that. So
I like that. I really like that take, honestly. Like sometimes in this space, people overanalyze things so much. It's just like, guys, I've got all of this stuff and it's way too much and I need to sell it now. And it's an account that needs to get with it.
This dude probably didn't grow up and like he didn't manage a huge fund of a bunch of people's money. Like he's probably just a dude like you and I, who just like, I have a shit ton of money. I don't know how to like in a sophisticated manner. I don't have the group chats of like these secret OTC whale do these things. He's like, I just got to click some buttons, and like I'm gonna keep clicking buttons. I'm just gonna make it work.
Yeah, like it wasn't long ago as well where you had that very large sell order, I think done OTC with Galaxy. I think that was in the billions as well. And the market like just acted completely fine. Like it just absorbed it. It was no issue. The fact that the market's matured even to the point where that this is able to happen is pretty cool, to be honest. So in the end, do not know how long that goes on. It's a person that you can't really guess, right? It's just there's an account out there with just a ton of Bitcoin, rotating it all into ETH. So we'll monitor the situation. But I think Bitcoin,
although it had same principles, like I was thinking of the same thing for the XPL stuff. I know we were saying like you don't ever short that shit, like it's gonna get you got. Everyone's afraid to do it. The guy did say he was done buying. He's like, my bad. He bought back 40% of his original position. He made like $30 million because it like Hyperliquid auto closed his account, all this shit. I'm tempted to like, if he says he's done and he's the one that pushed his price up to some crazy numbers, I'm tempted to slide in there, brother. I think I may dabble a little bit. Pop us first short. We got liquidated one way when I get liquidated the other. Like, let's play around.
You got trust for him.
I don't know. I think I just want to spice life a little bit.
Fair enough. Well, look, that's on the Bitcoin side, which we're monitoring. I do think it means that Bitcoin's not going to get a significant bid when everyone in the world knows that this guy's just selling aggressively over and over again. So we're going to have to just wait for that to clear out, I guess. She's got an overhang of supply, wait for it to clear out, see where we are. But talking about some spice in your life, Brad, we've got 10 minutes, and I think the majority people will want to know about is Trump's World LibertyFi launch day today. What are the key details we need to know? What's going on with some pre-market price action? Please inform us.
Yeah, you're going to hate me for this, but we're talking about spice in my life. I'm going to give you guys another anecdote off script right now. You said Infinix earlier. I went and got into my Infinix account because Legendary convinced me to buy this SUSD-S or SUSD, which is like the Infinix synthetics dollar. The motherfucker depegged after we did that down to like 70 cents. And that's what I was making fun of. I was making fun of it. It's back. It's back. It is back. I hadn't checked on it. Yeah, no, it's fine. Good. But yeah, we're living life on the edge. Like whenever
he had some spice, he bought a
he probably felt bad.
Coin.
Yeah, he's like, bro, just get in there. Like you're in a weekly raffle. You do this thing. It's easy. Just like fucking chill. And then like I was down 30% on his stablecoin position. Like, bro, what are you doing to me? But we're back now. So spice of life. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about World LibertyFi. The thing's an Aave fork first and foremost. It's an Aave fork with distribution of the Trump family name. So World LibertyFi is doing their thing. Yeah, there's a few people talking about some big events that are hitting. So today, World LibertyFi, the governance token for the Trump family-backed DeFi platform, World Liberty Financial, is set to launch for public trading and initial token claims on today at 12 UTC, 8 a.m. for Eastern time. So we're actually pretty much there. The most notable thing is that pre-market has been up and it's on Hyperliquid. that's where all pre-markets take place these days. I know there's been a little bit more of a competition these last few launches of Binance trying to front run Hyperliquid. It's currently sitting at, based on these numbers, just under 30 billion, which is an insane valuation for a pre-launch Aave fork. But you're betting on distribution in the Trump family name here. So, which they do have some motion. As you can see, though, if you like, BJX got it up on screen. This thing has been all over the fucking place since it initially launched.
How on earth are you supposed to trade this thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, look, it dropped at 43 billion, then hit a quick bottom with 7 subsequent red candles in the 4-hour down to 20 billion, then pumped all the way back up to 40 billion. Now is wicking all the way down to 25 billion. Like, this thing's all over the fucking place, right? I think it's overpriced. I think it's ridiculous, but we let them play the game. I'm probably not going to dive in here. It's got $100 million in open interest, or was it volume? What am I looking at here? That number was 100 bill. Let me zoom up here. So open interest, it had
150 mil, 24-hour vol.
Yeah,
117 mil open interest on Hyperliquid.
Which, unless you're a trader, you haven't internalized what the actual numbers of those things are relative to the rest of the market. So, like, again, between 100 and 150 mil for both of those numbers on World of DeFi. If you look at just Hyperliquid as a platform, right, the volume on Bitcoin and Ethereum is measured in trillions, right? So I'm looking at trillion? No, billions. Sorry, not trillions. Billions. So 2.8 bill for BTC, 3.3 bill for Ethereum, and then you drop all the way down to like 28 mil for ENA, XRP, whatever. So, like, it's a big range from this to like the big boys. Sol is at 900, Hype is at 340 mil, open interest and bills, 1.21. So it's got some volume, not like blow out the water numbers.
Sure.
So there's plenty to play around with if you're interested. I'm going to avoid it. I'm not interested in trying to play the price action of this thing, because it's just like there's nothing there other than just a name, and that doesn't entice me. And I'm not a big enough trader. I don't trade these things often enough to feel like I have a handle on what it'll do. And as you can see, it's already been all over the place.
Yeah. Okay. Very, very hard to trade. And as you've seen on the plasma side with XPL, even very dangerous to trade a pre-market. Like, I think that's one of the core conclusions for me, given that this is like a new pre-market setup. I would not feel confident taking either side, because you just don't know how easily manipulatable it is. So I think that's on just the pre-market setup. Just to give people a few more details on the actual token itself, and for people to know what the potential sell pressure is. This is an article by The Block. It said that 20% of the tokens purchased by early investors in the 0.015 and 0.05 rounds will be unlocked on Monday following a lockbox process. So not all of the pre-sale tokens will be available. 20% of them will. And they were done at a round that was at 0.015 and 0.05. So if the price on pre-market is 28, that's like pushing a 6x on the highest round, and it's like pushing it's like 18, 19, 20x on the lower round. So those people, I suspect, will be sellers, So what you got to do if you're interested in this, I mean, just put yourself in that position, right? If I had entered into this token at 0.015 and the token is at 28 cents, I will press the sell button instantly. Absolutely instantly. As soon as I can get my hand on those tokens, you press the sell button, because it doesn't even matter if it goes down to 15. If you're in the 0.015, that's still a 10x. So I think you're probably those people will take their chips off the table, and so there'll definitely be some. But I guess your thinking is like, okay, well, it's only 20% of the tokens purchased by early investors, and I can't think that there's not going to be any buy pressure created by whatever mechanism in this. Again, I don't like betting on those things, because it's like me betting on things that I don't know. I don't know if the World Liberty Fi team have come up with a way to create significant buy pressure. Like, I just don't know. I'd be betting. It'd be like a bad bet, in my opinion. So let's see. So those are some of the core details. In terms of circulating supply, this was an interesting website which I think Swizzy shared with us in our Telegram. I think Tokenomics is a decent site, although please do your research and check this correctly. Allegedly, only 3.69% of the supply will be on the market. So that means like 96% is obviously locked. It's like incredibly low float, high FTV, which is like the typical way to be able to squeeze token prices and make them go higher. So again, sure, a lot of the numbers will make sense. Like, okay, there's going to be sell pressure, yes, but on the bigger, on the kind of broader outlook, it might not be as much as you think. And if there is buying pressure created, or if there's even a meme-like quality to it, then you could see this after whatever sell pressure is done move higher quite easily, because there is simply not a lot of supply on the market if that number is the correct number. So I think those are a few important, like, concrete details to keep in mind. Brett, any concluding thoughts here on, well, LibertyFi? Anything we've missed? Any final thoughts? You are on mute.
I wonder how big these MFers are going to get. Like, it's on Ethereum. It's whatever. I think I saw a teaser that they're going to extend to Solana. It's just like, whoa. Am I back?
Yes, you're here. I can hear you, but your video is maybe lagging a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, we're running out of time, so let's move on.
Okay. We'll keep it moving. X Father Time on YouTube asked, will it launch on Coinbase? I believe it will not. I've not seen an announcement that it'll be on Coinbase. It will be on Binance and a few other select exchanges. So that answers that question. Appreciate the question. Getting into the final headline, which I think is more on the political side, we have this news, which is that the most Trump tariffs are not legal. A US appeals court ruled. It was a 7-4 court vote. Court delays. So the news is that the court allowed the tariffs to remain in place through to October the 14th to give the Trump administration a chance to file an appeal with the US Supreme Court. So what that means is the battle goes on. It means that the tariffs are allowed to stay in place, but there will be an extension of the conflict in a way where the administration are allowed to take it to the next level. It's usually this concept: you have the first court, then you have a court of appeal, and then you have the Supreme Court, which makes the final decision at some point, because there's got to be a final decision at some point in time, right? And the reason why I think this is important is because the tariffs are like a flagship policy for Trump. It's a very important part of the general economic plan that he seems to have. And B, it kind of ties into this other stuff where we're seeing the other set of policies where you have this like centralizing power towards the administration, whether it's like, look, I'm going to do this very specific world affecting tariff policy, or if it's like, I need the inflation rates to come down, therefore I'm going to go after the people on the board of the Fed to get the people that I want, or I'm going to put like this incredible amount of pressure on Jerome Powell until he does what I say. So you're just seeing this like routine in different realms, this centralizing effect. Remember, Brad, we also spoke about how they're taking stakes in Intel. They took a 10% stake in maybe not 10%. It was a percentage stake in some companies now. They're angling for a cut of the Nvidia revenue to China. So it's like the trend that you're seeing here is that there's kind of a centralization of power and just trying to get more things done that maybe beforehand would not have been possible. So that's the thought there. I have no view as to whether or not when October, I think the court process will play out, but I have no view as to what they're going to say. I don't have a specific edge there. But the thing that I'm betting on more than the outcome of the judgment is the continued pressure to centralize power, whether that's on the economic side or the political side or on the legal side. So, and I think the way to express that bet is to bet on the markets, because the point of doing that is to send the asset prices, or at least part of the point. So yes, they're trying to fix some economic issues at the same time. But I think, debasing the currency is what happens when you're going to get that increased centralization. And that's the lens through which I'm thinking about, because I don't know what way the court is going to vote. So I think that's the trend that you've got to keep an eye out for. But that's that. Brad, any final reflections on this kind of centralizing point, or any other thoughts that you have before we close out for the day?
You that going tapping into my Infinex stuff. I saw I got a bunch of OP rewards for that SUSD. Started making me go down the path of how are these L2 tokens doing? And all of them are getting merked, Arbitrum, Optimism, whatever, except for Mantle, which has ripped 60% in the last 30 days and is the top L2 token. Mantle, I mentioned it earlier. So they are the official chain associated to Bybit, and they have one of the fattest treasuries in all of crypto because of that. And I'm wondering if it's ripping because of that largely ETH denominated treasury. That means it's measured in billions. They have a shit ton of money just on hand that they've been managing pretty well. And it makes me wonder if there's something cooking there that I am not aware of. So I'm gonna be digging into that. I'll come back on Wednesday with an update on what's going on with Mantle, because it's all-time highs. So something interesting. Well, it hit all-time highs on the 16th. So 2 weeks ago. It has bled a little bit since then, but it's still it was up there.
Beautiful. That'll be interesting. Sounds like an outlier, and would be interesting to find out why that is the case. So guys, appreciate it. Thanks for that additional info. Thanks for joining us for today's show on the first day of September. We look forward to spending the rest of September with you. We are here every single day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, live on X Video, X Spaces, YouTube video, and you can catch us on Apple and Spotify podcasts as well. We will be back with you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.